June 25, 2009. A mansion in the hills of Los Angeles. A doctor standing over a man who isn't breathing. And 82 minutes of silence. No ambulance. Just silence. By the time paramedics arrived, the king of pop was gone. But the real story? It was just beginning. Chapter 1. What the official record says. Here is what the official record tells us. Michael Jackson died from acute propofol intoxication. Propofol, a powerful surgical anesthetic used in operating rooms, was being administered to him nightly, in his own bedroom, by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. Not in a hospital, not with proper monitoring equipment. In a bedroom. Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 2011. He served less than 2 years. Case closed, right? Not even close. Chapter 2. The 30 doctors. Here is what the trial quietly glossed over. 30 doctors. That is how many medical professionals investigators wanted to question. Not 1. Not 5. 30. Doctors, nurses, and pharmacists, all potentially connected to Jackson's drug use. At least 9 of them were under formal investigation. None of them were ever charged. Not 1. And while Murray stood trial, evidence emerged that Jackson had been using propofol as a sleep aid since his world tour in 1996. An anesthesiologist would, in his own words, take him down at night and bring him back up in the morning. This had been happening for years. And the system that enabled it walked away clean. Chapter 3. Murray's defense. Murray claimed that when he stepped out of the room, Jackson was fine. He came back. Jackson had stopped breathing. His defense was that Jackson had secretly given himself the fatal dose while Murray was out of the room. Could that have happened? Technically, maybe. Jackson had reportedly self-administered propofol before. But here is the thing. Even if that's true, Murray brought that drug into the bedroom. Murray set up the 4. Murray left a heavily sedated man alone with access to a surgical anesthetic that, in the wrong dose, stops your breathing in under 60 seconds. That is not a mystery. That is negligence. And possibly more. Chapter 4. The 82 minutes. So what happened in those 82 minutes? While Michael Jackson lay dying, Conrad Murray was on his phone. The 911 call was not made by Murray. It was made by a member of Jackson's household staff. And when paramedics finally arrived, Murray said nothing about the propofol. He watched them work. Said nothing. But a bodyguard testified that Murray asked him to collect vials from Jackson's bedside and remove the 4 line. Before anyone dialed 911. Let that sink in. Evidence was moved. Before the ambulance was called. Chapter 5. The questions that remain. In 2017, Michael Jackson's daughter Paris said she was, her word, absolutely convinced her father was murdered. She did not hesitate. Was this a conspiracy? A cover-up? Or a catastrophic failure by every person in a position of power around one of the most famous human beings who ever lived? The coroner ruled it a homicide. A jury convicted 1 man. 1 man who served less than 2 years. 30 people were investigated. A billion-dollar concert promoter was sued. And a doctor moved evidence before calling for help. So here is the question that nobody has fully answered. Who was really responsible for the death of Michael Jackson? 1 convicted doctor? A broken system of enablers? Something darker? The files are closed. The sentence has been served. But the questions are still very much open. Follow for more true crime mysteries. Share if you think the truth was never told. And remember, the story doesn't end here.